All right. Welcome back to the Planet Paintball Podcast, brought to you by 1023 Sportswear and Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. Get out there and say hi to John and the boys while you can. Anyways, let's get right back into it. I got Chris and Matt from the Coup with me. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Doing pretty good.
So last time we just had Chris on. I think we were, halfway through the season?
Yeah, we're about halfway.
Yeah. So right after the infamous Dead Man Walk thing happened. Or was that before?
Doing us dirty already, dude. Bringing it up. Actually, I don't know if it's before or after.
I think, you know what? I think we recorded it before, and then it happened as your episode was rolling out. And then I had those guys on the week after, I think. It was already scheduled. It wasn't because of the Dead Man Walk, I swear. But and how'd we do for the season, boys?
Chris, you can.
Yeah, we had ups and downs on the season. Our D4 line did fairly well. They took third in the series. We couldn't quite punch the number to get that number one spot. Few seconds, few thirds, but we couldn't just find the momentum, I guess, to solidify first place for at least a single event. But then we had our D5 line. They had an up and down season. A lot of progress, a lot of education is being passed. They ended up taking fifth in the series with having, horrible start. I've got it all right here. So first event, our D5 line took 13th. The second event, 7th. And then back to 9th. And then 5th. And then we finished the end of the year finally getting a podium for those guys with third place. So is a new year for a lot of these guys, a lot of green guys, very, very green. Some of our youth players from the YPL stepped up and wanted to move up into X-Ball 5-man. So we did that. And so there's a lot of learning curves that were happening.
And are you guys going to Cup or no?
Yeah. So we'll have our YPL All-Stars team there.
Nice.
So what that is a combined group of young athletes that were rostered at a youth paintball league event. And then we had open tryouts for all those kids to come back out and then to go down and play at Cup. That trip is also it's a paid trip by one of our sponsors or a few of our sponsors that put together. So we set all that money aside so we can make that happen to facilitate all these kids being able to experience their first World Cup.
Dude, that's awesome. What a gift to those kids.
So, I mean, you got to think about it. There's a lot of time and sacrifices that parents are making. So if this is something that our organization can do to help these kids get to, the next big thing and see something at the national level, because there's going to be a ton of great paintball down there. It's going to be fantastic. There's a lot of stacked divisions that are down there. So these guys being able to see what a national sport this is going to be a great experience for them. So, I'm thankful for, all of our sponsors that, took place this year to help us get there, Echelon Designs, Need It Now, Grants Creek Nursery. And then we've had a few other places that came in and help provide lunches throughout every single tournament. We provided lunches for all the players. So it was a good year. And I really hope that these kids, cherish everything that they have. Because I know as a kid, I didn't have something like this to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
People that are stepping up and doing the right thing and, growing our sport to a bigger spotlight. It all starts with the youth players.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just talking about that on the last episode, how important it is to get them in. And even if they don't stick with it, the chances that they're going to come back at some point is pretty high. I feel like, if you're going to play a season or two and then leave because of life stuff, chances are you'll be back.
No, 100%.
So the youth line's going down there, the All-Stars, and then is the D4 and D5 squad going down to Cup?
Just the Division 5 line.
Okay, nice.
We had a lot of life things happen, and we also have a lot of military members on our Division 4 line. So obligations to things is a little scarce right now. So they need to go do other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally understandable. And, it's easy to get away for a weekend sometimes in the military. It's a little harder for the 4-day trip down to World Cup. Matt, how did you come to be part of the Coup?
Yeah, I think I want to say it was back in 2023. I moved down to North Carolina. Hadn't been playing paintball for a while. Finally got all my gear down in North Carolina. I played a little bit in college, so I kind of wanted to get out to like a park near here,
Mhm.
just go play for a weekend. Found Jacksonville Paintball Park. Went out there for a weekend. Met some of the guys that were there at the time, and they kind of mentioned, we've got a team that comes out of here. At the time, I was actually trying out for a different team. Initially started playing with them for a little bit beginning, and thankfully someone reached out. Actually, you guys talked about him before, but Tyler reached out to me and was like, hey man, I really do think you should come play for the Coup. Come try for a season. I think you're going to be way better there than what I had initially planned with the first team I was on. Played a couple, like 3-mans with that team. Really just didn't see any future with it. I hit Tyler up. He reached out to Chris, seeing if I could come back, welcome me with open arms, and then started on the D5 line there. And then I've been with them ever since.
Nice. So you played D5 this year then?
No, this actually was my first year playing D4 for the entire
Okay.
season, and then played with our D5 line at this last event as well.
Okay. Give them that little boost to get some hardware.
Honestly, the D line, that was the best event I've ever seen us play. No one, I mean, some of the kids that played that event, best I've ever seen them play ever. They played beyond their years, and it was awesome to see. So
So what's the I mean, obviously, we just lost him.
I think his
I had
Wi-Fi
a
finally gave.
I had a feeling we were gonna lose him. Here he is. He's back in. Maybe he'll be better this time.
Got to
I think I
figure it
just
out
hit the
there.
wrong. I think I hit the wrong button. It says trouble connecting, and then it said try to
Yeah.
reconnect, but it was still
No.
doing it, and then me being stupid, I hit reconnect, and it bounced me back.
You hit the leave button, don't lie.
It happens.
It'll just bounce you out, then throw you right back in. If that pops up, it's fine. So all those guys on D5, are they all ranking up to D4 next year? Does it look like?
I believe so. I think there might be 1 or 2, but I'm 90% sure it's the entire line.
Okay. Nice. So will there be 2 D4 lines next year? Or are we not even thinking about next year yet?
So we're going to be doing something a little bit different next year. I don't have it written down, but I know what it is. So we're doing something a little bit different next year. We've been on a real big recruiting effort, not just for talented players, but as far as growing an organization as a whole. So we're just trying to get people into paintball.
Gotcha.
We're going to be running beginner stuff. So everywhere from our youth league stuff to, CFOA 3-mans, just because that's what's close to us.
Uh-huh.
And then we do have guys that, like to play competitively. We've got guys that like to play essentially just on the weekend, but we are going to make a spot for everyone. So how that's going to look is that we're going to have we're calling it a recreational line. So it's those that want to play, but may not be able to commit to every single event. And then we're going to take all those guys there and see what their goals are and what they want to do, because you always have those guys that want to be competitive but they just can't make every single event, and that's fine. So we're going to try to group all those guys together, so that at least that when they are practicing, they're practicing with the same guys, they're still getting the same vibes, they're building their cohesion and all that other good stuff, so that when they do go to an event, they're already in the works of performing together.
Yeah.
And then, if there's a couple guys and we need to pull them for another one, then we'll just pull them, to where we need them to, so they can still play. But then we're going to have our things that are like our competitive lines. Our competitive lines are going to be the ones that can commit 100% to the entire season based on division and league and however that breakdown goes. That way, those guys are, giving 110% with those same guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, you always have those other players that, them, they're always there, that they play with your program, but they may not be like all the way in it due to work obligations in life that are going to be willing to be like, hey, man, you got a spot. And you're like, yeah, dude, I got you. Let's get in there and we'll get after it together. So we're going to try something a little bit different. We had a few meetings with our board members going over all this stuff so we can facilitate the best program possible and make sure that our logistics are matching that.
So it sounds like a pretty big shift, but kind of creating a place for everyone, which is awesome. And for those that don't remember or don't know, you guys are a 501c3, right?
That is correct.
So you do have a board. How many people sit on that board?
6, I believe, right now.
That's a good amount of board members to have to wrangle.
Well, it's really nice because some of them are parents and then they also own their own businesses. So it's not like we have a lot of young guys on there, but we have a good, diverse group of individuals. That way, when we're having our professional conversations, we can look at it from all angles and be able to make the correct decisions of what the organization as a whole needs, not just, a bunch of paintball players that are sitting together to where you know how that can go, especially when you're trying to facilitate a bigger picture.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to shrink the circle down to have a more lasered focus, if you will. So with that said, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I say it's really nice because it's not like you have a bunch of chiefs that are just sitting in there. Like when we have our meetings and we're going over things, like, each person can go through and professionally say what they need to say. And then we can all come to these, same decisions and actually brainstorm versus like, hey, this is what it is. Good luck. So, but it makes everything go a lot smoother.
So are we just going to see like who comes to the table, or are we definitely like doing certain leagues next year?
We got a few things up in the air right now as far as like the regional level. I know we're looking at playing NRPL.
Okay.
We're putting in an NXL line and then CFOA and then the YPL for all of our youth guys. And then we're looking at we're figuring out the factors for regional. Let's just put it that way.
Fair enough. Because I think the AXL already released their dates, which is interesting.
I just saw 2 dates. So I'm curious of how many time dates are going to change because I know everything is based off the NXL schedule.
Yeah. I mean, most leagues know before the NXL releases, but they don't release until after the NXL releases for sure.
Right.
So it was just kind of interesting to see AXL dates already. Like there was like a winter shake off or something like that, but then I saw other one like in April. I was like,
it looked like February 28th, early March or something like that.
Yeah, I saw the February one, and then there's an April.
Then the other one was in like April.
Yeah, so it was interesting to already see out. Although I don't know how much nationals really affect at least the Carolina regional scene. It seems like teams are either committed to one or the other. Does that make sense?
In the Carolinas, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing.
I know like Georgia, they have a bunch of guys that, they would not want to be on top of an NXL event because a lot of their regional guys play on national lines. And obviously like West Coast and up north is a little different. So you guys are looking at the NRPL, right? What how far of a drive is that for you guys?
I think it's dependent on where we are. I think from where you're at, it might be 7, but I want to say Eric was saying like it's like 6.
Okay. Because that's based up in Maryland, right? Like right on the Maryland-Virginia line?
Yeah. I'm like looking it up right now. I want to say it's like 6.5.
Okay. It's a pretty good.
So it's not terrible, but I mean, you can't beat what they're putting out there though.
Yeah.
Like the live streams that they have, they do excellent live streams. You can prepay for your entire season. Like there's a lot of cool. Well, that's what I was told. Like I haven't like talked to them directly, but another team that we practice with, that's what they said, and I was like, you really can't beat that.
No.
So, and it's a limited amount of teams, well roughed. Like what they're doing up there is they have a fantastic league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like a really good league. I've heard nothing but really good things about it. was a little Matt the Gym Rat video just popped up there. So, what's going on with the youth league next year? What are the plans there?
So right now, we've already started our open practice dates. We had probably ten new kids that showed up. Um, I think out of those 10, 9 of them have never picked up a paintball gun,
Oh, that's
which
awesome.
was it was fantastic. Um, so like our facility just had uh our zombie hunt shoot
Hmm.
that just wrapped up, and Mr. Fitz, bless his soul. All right, this man was out there collecting tickets and recruiting at the same every youth person he saw. He was out there recruiting and making it happen. Like letting people know that, the youth paintball league is out there and trying to grow the numbers. I think 3 of those kids that showed up were from people standing in line, which
Nice.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we got a few more dates: November 29th, December 13th, and January 17th. Those are going to be the last 3 open practice days. They're all on Saturdays. They all start at 9 a.m. They will be taking place at Jacksonville Paintball and Airsoft Park. You don't need any equipment whatsoever. We provide you with an ETHA 2, full setup, pod pack, thermal mask, the works. So all you have to do is buy paint from the facility to get set up. And then the Coup Athletics will have coaches out there specifically for this. A lot of our younger kids that play within our organization that have been a part of the YPL that are either phasing out of the YPL or still involved are typically out there introducing themselves, meeting the kids, and showing the other kids, minor things on how to get ready and how to do certain things before coaches take over, but they get them all stretched. And it's kind of cool watching, these younger kids that have learned all this already, that have moved on with the organization, already teaching,
Hmm.
their peers and getting them ready. And they're excited about that. Like I interviewed a kid the other day while we were out there. And I was like, what'd you enjoy about today? And he was like, teaching new players. I was like, we all start somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if that's the thing that's going to make you happy right now, like seeing more kids your age join, a paintball league, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the biggest compliment you can get as a league right there, right? That someone who's phasing out wants to come back and help teach and help with the league. So that's huge, man. So congratulations on that. So, and just so we can run through it again, the kids can sign up as individual players. They'll be put on a team for the year once it becomes that, right? And
Correct.
if there's a youth team or a field further away that wants to bring a team, they can bring a team to those events, right?
That is correct. So the only criteria that there is, they have to be 16 or younger. They have to, if they are rostering a team, they can only have one Division 4 player, and that is it on their roster. So I know I talked to Landon from the Beach Bandits the other day, and he was super excited and telling us, his plans and whatnot, because they've got the Defy kids that are going to be going down to World Cup, and they've already started working on bringing other youth players so they can come back and compete with a whole different thing.
Nice.
But it seems like they, as a kid that just played it and winning the series, it's bigger shoes now, because as I was talking to him, he seems like he's not going to play, he's going to coach, and he wants to be more well-rounded, which was, fantastic to hear. I mean, he's a great kid, so he's gonna do big things. So it's, keep an eye on him if you don't know who he is. Landon Hill, he plays for the Beach Bandits, but he's coming from the youth league itself, being excited to bring another youth team back for the 2026 season. Like that's also super cool to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool that a kid from far away, right, is like, hey, I want to put together a team for this, even knowing like they can't play anymore. They can only coach. Like, that's awesome, man. Anymore. So, like, outside of the teams you guys put together and the Beach Bandits, any more organizations making the trip?
I'm not sure. I've heard rumors of like Potentially Black River having a youth league. I mean, they're always trying to do stuff out there. I know they
Mhm.
had a women's team at one point. They've got a couple other teams out there. So, and I know when we go to the CFOA and we see them out there, they're always super supportive of the kids. But the rumor has it is that they may potentially put together a youth line for it, which would be cool. So, I mean, if there's any other organizations that are out there that are interested, they need more information, please shoot me a message on Facebook. You can hit us on the Coup Athletics page, the Youth Paintball League page. It all goes to me, and we'll get back to you with as much information as we possibly can.
Cool. I'm gonna put you in touch with the Carolina Threat guys because they're out of Greensboro and they are serious about trying to put together a youth line. Maybe
I
you
think I
guys.
talked to Sean. I think I talked to Sean down at Myrtle Beach or Conway when we were down there,
Okay.
and they were saying something about it. But yeah, tell them to hit me up, and we can go through it. I'd love to get them out there.
Yeah. Yeah. If we could get, it would be really cool to have like youth teams from all over the Carolina coming up to compete in that thing. So, and it'd be nice to see like other youth play days at other fields out there. Like I just think it does a lot for the sport, whether it's giving a good experience to someone, right? Or getting someone fully hooked in. Like that should be part of your business plan as a field owner or operator is having youth days for sure. So can't always count on the youth groups and stuff, right? Sometimes you got to facilitate it
No,
yourself. So, um, and then you give them like really nice gear, like thermal mask, Etha 2, pod pack. Like this is not your typical rental stuff, at least at most fields. I don't know what Jacksonville has as far as rental equipment, but like, that's a pretty nice setup to be out there.
I mean they're maintained. We break them down, we'll clean them up, make sure all the settings are good. Because I mean, those are the pro pack rentals for the field, but we utilize them for the leagues. And I mean, in any sport that you get into nowadays, it's expensive. So I mean, it's just another way to let kids try something and see something different. Because we all know games, man, they're
Yeah.
taking over everything. Everybody wants screen time. Nobody wants to be outside anymore.
Yeah.
So all those kids that had to suffer through, the COVID times where they weren't allowed to go do anything and they just got hooked onto their screens, like that's all they know now. So we need to get them all off the couch, get them back out there, work on
Hmm.
being fit and the mental game and everything. Like you can learn real life lessons from playing paintball. It's like we're not just teaching you how to play paintball, we're teaching you life lessons, through sport.
Hmm.
And I believe every sport should be doing that, but not all of them do. So it's just a lot of good breakdown that you can do through the sport of paintball.
Yeah. Well, and no, go, Matt, go.
I would just think, I think one of the things helping out with the youth league too, especially just with like everything that's happened with like CTEs, football, things like that. I think it's another great competitive sport to get young kids into without the fear of like, can it be a contact sport at some points? Maybe if you have someone run into someone else or take a bad dive, but for the most part, it's a non-contact sport, but it's a highly competitive. And teaching kids, like Chris said, like great communication skills, leadership skills, plus gets kids out of the house doing something.
Well, and especially like, if you're going all the way up to 16, like some of those kids, 13 to 16, the physicality of the kids plays a big role at that point on what sports they can legitimately play, right? It's no longer pee-wee sports. And this is a great alternative for someone who's not shot up and is a super tall kid and now is kind of getting phased out of basketball or, you know, football's not their jam because it's too much contact or parents are worried about head stuff, right? Which is a legitimate thing. Like paintball is super safe and it's a good, it doesn't really matter your body type. You can be really effective on the field since the marker is really the equalizer. And outside of a bad dive or a freak accident where you run into other player, it's really, really safe as long as you're wearing all the equipment right. So that's a great point. So Matt, what's kind of your role in the organization, man?
Yeah, so this past season was just playing with the D4 line, and then kind of got pushed into the role to start trying to help coach. Coached one of my for a decent amount, like I think what was it, Chris? Like one event or two events this past D5 season I coached. And let me tell you that I thought playing paintball was hard. Coaching's a whole different breed. And I'll say I struggled with it. I'm still learning. Coaching is way different than playing paintball. I'll tell you that. So I was trying to step up into the role for that. I had a lot going on this season, so I really didn't get a youth league signed up to me to coach them, which is unfortunate. So I'm hoping to get back into the sport a little bit more this coming year. Hopefully life settles down and get out there on Saturdays, get a youth line so I can start coaching and where I can for the youth line, and then depending on how this next season shakes out with players, probably falling into that role in D5 coaching as well too.
And why I'm thinking about it, I'm going to plug my own thing real quick. Toys for Tots tournament at PBC Greenville is happening. Oh my gosh, what is the date? We just decided the day. Give me a second here, boys. It will be Sunday the 14th in December. Toys for Tots. Bring a little 3-man team, bring a toy, $20 or more, and come and support a good cause and have some fun playing paintball in the cold. Thank you for letting me do that real quick.
Absolutely.
After I get off with you guys, I got to make the flyer. But that's our annual toy drive that we've been doing for I think this is year 5 or 6. So
nice.
Yeah, just have a little fun and help those out, that need help in the holidays. It's an important thing to do. So what are we going to be focusing on for the D5 guys that are coming up to get them ready for D4? Especially like I just had the threat guys on and we were talking D4 is a bear in the Carolinas. It's a big step up. So are we doing anything in particular to get them ready for the season?
Take it.
I think the biggest thing for us was taking our last event that we came off of for Podium and taking what we learned from that and how we played and just making sure that is like how we play all the time. And it's not like a fluke thing where we go out and have one great event and then we can't play that ever again. Biggest things for us is working on our communication cross field, especially at the D4 level. If comms aren't locked up across the field, I mean, it's just going to fall apart. And I think that was really our biggest struggle all year wasn't the ability of the players, wasn't because we couldn't shoot a lane. It was because our comms dropped. And I think really honing in on that, working together as a team, stop playing me ball, start playing, team ball is going to be the biggest thing we have to focus on for everyone to move it up.
Absolutely. Yeah. D4, if you have a lot of talented guys, you can definitely still win, but it's so much easier to win or even just do well if you have really good communication. And like you said, that cross field communication, not just your ones and twos, but making sure it's going all the way across. Any drills?
I mean, we do.
Go.
I'll answer that one too for you. So we do really well as a 1 and 2, but getting it all the way across is a problem. So one of the drills that we've started to work on was you're essentially playing 4-on-4, but you're all the way 2 bodies on the D side, 2 bodies on the snake side, and then no center. And now you're forcing that to happen because once you're in a mask, and especially for these younger guys, they don't understand is that when you start to yell, it matters how you yell. It matters how you project your voice because you still have the less experienced guys that are going to do more of their panic yelling to where, they're just trying to get the information out of there. Nothing's clear and concise. It's coming through your mask. It's all mumbled. So until you can essentially articulate what you're saying and put it all the way out there, it's never going to be correct. Like take the time, project your voice, try to be as clear and concise as possible. Getting someone's attention, yell their first name or whatever they go by. Like let them know that you are talking to them. And then if they're, if they're not shaking their head at you and that's a deliberate, like you've played with that person enough, like, okay, I know he understands what I'm saying right now. Like if you're not getting that hand sign back or that head shake back that lets you know you understand, then you need to say it until they they come back and say it back to you. But like at that
Yeah.
junior level, until you can get that part, it's communication is just going to drop. We started doing, drills to help us, with our zone control, putting it in situations to where they should be shooting on the other way, but then you have to get them to essentially cross effectively and switch their lanes together for who's covering what section, but getting people to understand like timing is everything. And sometimes you're not going to see that always. But understanding how to switch correctly to hold what you need to hold and someone else picking up on your job and understanding that job are two different things because they can turn and shoot, but do they know exactly where they need to shoot? So, information is power and you got to have all the information and not go into the black and try to maintain being calm while under pressure. That's the hard part, especially jumping up in the Carolinas from Division 5 to Division 4. Being able to not panic in under stressful situations because there's a lot of guys that at Division 4 they can ball, like especially in the Carolinas, like they can put it down. So you
Yeah.
have to be able to understand and take those punches when they're coming because it's gonna come, it's gonna happen. And if you can't, get punched in the face and go back onto that field and not think clear, and instead you're filled with rage or whatever emotion that may, go through. Because I mean, it's a natural thing, but until you can master that, it's going to be hard to compete at that level here.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, or I was gonna add one more if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I think
Please.
another thing we're gonna work on too, and we've been working on it though, is the endurance aspect of the sport. I think it's super easy to get sucked into working on low body situations, working on how to be aggressive, working on your gunfighting abilities, your snap drills, got it. But it also comes down to like sheer endurance as well. If you're an X ball, you able to get out there in 1 minute and make that run at the same speed you started the day with. Because I know like anytime another team takes time out, I mean that's just music to my ears 'cause I know they're tired, right? And that's honing in to make sure we can go 100% the first point, 100% the last point, regardless of the weather, regardless of the day, and keep the intensity the same.
Yeah. That's such a huge thing, right? Like as a player, if you desire more time on the field, you better be able to go, 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 and keep that intensity up. Because if you come off and you need a break, you know, if the other guy goes out there and stunts, the other guy's gonna stay out there, right? Until he needs the break. And at least from a coaching perspective, I'd rather, not that I don't want to give my other guys opportunity, but if it's working, you just keep it going, right? Like
You got to ride
it's
it.
just
Like, I mean, having faith in your players is one thing, but understanding who's stunning, who's hot. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, everyone pays to play, but at the same time, like, you have teams that are in it to win it, and they understand the team mentality of what needs to happen. And then you have those teams that, it is everyone pays to play, so everyone plays. There is a difference. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but the ones that want to win, they know how to adjust their rosters, they know how to adjust their players accordingly, based on, conditions or injuries and things like that to ensure that they're, you know, going to have the best results.
Yeah. Well, it kind of arcs back to what you were saying, like you're going to have a competitive line and recreational line, right? Like if you are going there and you want to play, then the recreational line might be the line for you. But if you're going there and your mentality is, I want to be part of a team and a unit, and I'm going to do whatever is best for that team and unit, whether that's me out on the field or me playing the bench for an event, then the competitive line is for you, right?
Absolutely.
Uh, so Matt, it mentioned coaching was a little bit of a struggle and adjustment. So what was the hardest part? Like help someone else out who's thinking about coaching. Give them the inside scoop. What's the hardest thing you had to do?
Honestly, I think the hardest thing was to think about what has to happen across the field, not just like on my side, right? So I normally play the one on D side. I can go out on a layout and know exactly what bunker I need to go to, where I'm going to shoot, and I'll run it. Like, I got it. That's my game plan. Taking a step back from that to coaching of like, okay, D side's locked down, but I also need to know where's home going to be shooting, where's their secondary move, what's snake side going to be even looking at, where are they shooting at, and then also trying to anticipate uh, what the other team's going to do and try to like, play our own game, but also know like, hey, the past 3 points that they played, this is their exact breakout that they do. This is what you need to caution off the break. This is like, there's just a million things that are going through your head while coaching. And for me, it wasn't the hardest thing I struggled with is taking in all that information and trying to process it quickly.
Okay.
The in-between points, going and scouting other teams, like putting marker on a whiteboard like that, that's super easy. And then, but being able to articulate that into action of like our own game plan of where am I going to send guys? What does their role need to be? That is what I struggled with, 100% honesty. Like thankfully Chris was playing the event, so he was able to kind of like sideline coach me as well, help me out there. Because I at one point I looked at Chris and I was like, yeah, getting overwhelmed. I'm like, I've got way too much information I'm trying to process. And like, I don't even know where people should go, let alone like lanes to shoot or what they're going to do. I got it reeled back in at that event, thankfully. So honestly, I would just say the IQ of the sport. That's what a coach has to have. Not just the IQ of like where to send people, but like the rule book as well. That's one thing that I kind of overlooked going into a coaching position is like, if you're going to try to argue for your players and you're going to tell your players, hey, you don't argue with the refs, I'll argue for you. You better know the playbook in and out. And that is something I didn't have. Thankfully, Chris kind of helped me out where I needed it. But if you're going to go argue with a ref and look out for one of your players, you probably should know the rules in and out. So that way, you have the best argument and the best standpoint and you don't look like an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially if I would say 90% of the time, like it's not worth having the discussion with the ref, right? But for that 10%, you better be right. Otherwise, they're going to remember, oh, this is the team with the coach, with the guy who doesn't know his stuff.
But on that, anytime that you're going to go do that, like you have to go in with purpose and you have to go in as a professional. As soon as you start yelling, you have lost all attention and all respect, or even the amount of conversation that you thought you were going to have, because now you're talking to nothing. Maintaining your professionalism while trying to argue for your opponent, for your players, is crucial, and a lot of people forget about that. Like they're out in the heat. They're probably not having as much fun as you are. You got to give them a little bit.
Yeah. Even if you are having a bad day, you are probably having a better day than the ref. So, it's a very, very thankless job. And if you're going to bring up an issue, you need to do it respectfully for sure, because it does not help your case if you are flying off the handle and, cursing at these guys. Like, they aren't going to hear it. And if you got a good ultimate ref, he's not going to let you do that to a ref, right? Like, even if you just need clarification on what the call just was, you got to do it respectfully.
I would say on that point, though, being respectful, but I would say for what's the word? Assertive, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because I think I did that pretty decent job of that when I was coaching, right? I had good relationships with them, was able to have a conversation with the head guy that runs the event, but that's all it was, right? It was like a cool, calm, collected conversation, but nothing happened. The penalty stayed the same or whatever happened at that point. And there's got to be a little fine line of like, you got to stay respectful. You can't be yelling, can't be cursing at them. But to Chris's point, like you have to go in there with a purpose. And if that purpose is 100%, it was a wrong penalty, wrong call, whatever it was, you got to be able to stand your ground. And if it means being a little assertive, then that's what you have to be for your team, for the guys out there.
Oh, absolutely. Like you can't, you can't be a pushover by any means. But I think we all know the likelihood of a call being turned over is 9.5 to 10, right? So it just doesn't happen. Sometimes if it's going to affect the next point, like body wise, you can get it turned over, but you aren't going to get that point back, right? From a bad call.
No,
that just is what it is. Sorry. Let me text this guy back real quick.
And then I would add just final note on it too is coaching, making sure that the just general vibes of the team are good, right? Just you're coaching the team, but at the same time, you're kind of managing the players, right? And knowing who can go in what role. Thankfully, we've had our line where they've been really honest with themselves, and they'll come up and tell you like, "I can't make that run."
Hmm.
It's like, "Awesome, that's exactly what I need you to tell me. I don't need you to lie to me.
Yeah.
We'll find another job for you." But overall, I think the biggest thing as a coach is just keeping good vibes the
Hmm.
entire day. You can see when another team's struggling and they're just screaming at each other as soon as the point's done. They can't even get ready for the next point. Then they're yelling
Yeah.
at each other all day and they're having an awful time. And, there's been points where like, yeah, we lost the point, but like the vibes weren't ruined for the day. And then we were able to
Hmm.
recover and like the very next point, very next match, we're good to go. And there's a team that's still struggling on 2 points ago.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make, that like once the point's done, it's done. Like we can talk about it after the match is done if we need to, but right now we got to be focused forward, right? Like what matters is the next point, not what just happened. So, and I really liked what you said about players being honest about what they can do. You know, hey, I don't think I can make that, or look, I think it's 50-50 if I make it. That's an important thing. And also like when they come back in, right? Like, hey, I went out there, I made it, but I had two guns on me right away. Like that's really important information for a coach to have.
And it's important to get that information right away without everyone yelling as soon as they get off. Like, it's very you gotta
Yeah.
have, as a coach, it's gotta be, like, direct information, like, I don't care, that you got shot at, whatever, I need where were you getting shot from? Where were the lanes from? What else can happen? Awesome. Did your lane work? Okay, you shot him out. Okay, you get to keep shooting that lane. Did you have any heat on you? No? Okay, then you make the same run again. Like, very quick touch points. You got, like, you got a minute and a half to talk about it, and then while you're getting ready, and then it's go.
Well, and
Yeah. Well,
I think that falls back to the conversation that we had earlier. What is the difference between a Division 5 team and then bumping up to the Division 4 team is your pit talk. Your pit talk is completely different from analyzing what happened and the amount of information given. To where at the lower division, it's a lot of like not even information. It's just not pertinent. Like, give me the
hmm
important pieces and go away. Like, I don't need anything
hmm
else. And getting them to understand that, and it may come off as like you're being mean to them or you're being rude to them. It's not. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that as a coach, you're dealing with a bunch of things at once, and you only have a set amount of time to get a game plan back up and get them onto the field
hmm
with the correct information needed. Like, don't go in there to your coach and, give him 1,000 excuses of why you got shot. Nobody cares. Not a single person cares why you got shot. They care how you got shot. Like, this is a sport
hmm
of how did things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. It doesn't matter that you got shot. It matters that you were running out to the corner and you got shot crossfield instead of heads up, right? Or the home guy shot you. Like that's the information that the coach needs. And, the coach is juggling like 30 to 40 pieces of information each point. It's not only the game plan, it's the personnel that's out there. It's where you think the other team's going to go and where you want to push. And hey, we're going to do game plan A, but I want your secondaries to be different, right? Like it's that kind of stuff. On top of the, hey, you guys didn't talk. I need you talking more, right? Or, hey, player A, I need you getting out there and rolling the gun. I don't care if you see someone or not. You just get out there and lock down the lane, right? All that stuff matters a lot. And it's a lot for a coach to juggle. So did you play or coach for the last event, Matt?
No, I
Okay.
just, played the last one.
Okay.
That started off with Chris, but
I
I'll let
player,
Chris talk about it.
I player coached the last event, and then
Okay.
and then I became just a player. So
hmm
that's we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it at that.
Player coaching. We were just talking about how hard coaching is. Player coaching's 10 times harder. So it's not just one thing. It's
I've done it
10
for
times
years,
harder.
so it's not fun.
No.
It's a lot, but like if you can, it's definitely not on the top 10 things that I like to do.
hmm
That's for sure. Because I mean, maintaining my own stress levels while playing and then maintaining my stress levels while coaching and then you add both those together, it's a whole nother beast. I would love to find a coach. I would absolutely love to have a coach. So like if I'm not coaching and I'm just focusing on playing, like I can focus just on playing.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it is what it is, and sometimes you don't get those options. So you just kind of got to roll with the punches and do the best that you can do. Like, I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Someone got to do that job if you don't have a coach, and unfortunately, sometimes that's
Yeah. It's hard, and every team's a little bit different, but sometimes the player coach is the best player, so he has to be out on the field. Sometimes it's not, and he can sit back a little bit more and not play as much and coach, but it's super difficult, especially when things go bad, right? Like if you have a point where you get blown off the field, coming back into the pit as a player and then having to reset a line is really difficult. Like you need an assistant coach in there with you, or other player who's not going to play when you're playing, to be in there to help you with it.
so we do set something like that up.
Okay.
But we have three key members, so it's not necessarily just one person player coaching, but we do have a process set up to be able to handle all that.
Nice.
As far as like, if we need a towel, who's going to towel?
Hmm.
It's going to be X of whatever. Um, what to do in these situations. Like we have already ran through these options to make sure that we are set up for success, and it's not necessarily just a question of what needs to happen. It's just who's going to do it based on who's on and off the field.
Okay. Nice. So let's break it down into some of the fun stuff. What's the wildest thing you guys saw this year at an event? Be it a youth event, or one you were playing, or one that you were coaching. Like just something that you went, wow, I can't believe that happened. Like it could be goofy, it doesn't have to be bad,
Damn, I don't know on that one. That's actually a
I
really.
mean,
I wish you'd asked that a while ago.
I'll say a quick one. It's a filler for me to think of a better one. Myrtle Beach, someone snapped their whole barrel off their gun, like in half. That was interesting.
Just like
Totally missed
total
that.
core sample.
Oh yeah, core sample. Like he walked off with like barrel in hand.
No.
I mean, I've seen some funny ones where you get it. I was at the last event. You getting shot at. You have no idea where the lane's coming from. You look on the field. And you got like a super tall dude that's just got his gun like at the top of the bunker above his head, shooting
One
down.
of these.
That was yeah.
Yeah, that's like a new thing apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't remember which YPL event it was, but we've got this. How tall do you think Nolan is?
I mean,
He's not much over us.
he can. Yeah, I mean, he for the most part he can
I don't
stand
think
up.
he can see over. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he can even see over a mini Aztec.
Okay.
Like he's short. He is the most fearless kid I have ever met in my life. Like this kid is relentless. He managed to run all the way down the snake side. They had to get a quick point. Managed to have to run down the entire snake side. I think he ended up two packing, but they never saw him coming. And then like when they're getting shot, they all kind of like stood up and did the whole like because they couldn't see him.
Hmm.
But that kid is relentless, and he is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with as he gets older. Because I think he's only how old is he? 11, 10? He's young. Yeah, he's 10 or 11. Like he's young. But I'll tell you what, that boy can take his his licks,
You
and
don't want
he
to be
will.
shooting because he'll
No,
shoot you into the dirt.
he'll shoot you all the way in the dirt, and he ain't afraid to. If you give him a job and you say, "I need you to run down from home to home, straight down the center of the field, and shoot as many people as you can," he will run the whole way and shoot as many people as he can, and he will just eat it. Like he'll take his moment, come back to, and then be like, "Okay, I'm good now." And you're like that is an amazing kid to watch. Like that, like no fear mode. Like that is,
Hmm.
and when he does do it, it's kind of funny because he's so short. Like you can't miss it.
Mind you, though, it was awesome to see him get to that point too, because he initially was a
Yes.
kid where I think I was reffing the first game and he got shot, I think once or twice. And being a young kid, obviously paintball hurts, right? He had
Uh-huh.
his moment, and he was a very timid player. And then did the YPL, seen him grow, and I mean, like he's done it to me. I think granted I think I was reffing, but regardless, I didn't have a ref jersey on. He thought I was a player. like he has zero fear. Like he'll go out and play against a D3, D4 line. He won't care now.
Nice.
Like he just wants to play, and it's awesome.
That no fear will take him far for sure. And every team needs that guy who's crazy enough to run up the middle and just stick as many people as they can, right? Like that's a real weapon
You
to
never know when you're
have.
going to need that.
Yeah, like, hey, I just want you to run and
Hurts,
stick
but hey,
their
you gotta
home
have
player. Yeah, just go and take as
Like, hey
many
man, I
as you
need you to
can.
do this. Just don't get a major on us, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do what you can, but like, just don't get the flag. That's all I'm asking. Like, do whatever it takes, just no flag.
Well, and that's the key there, right? Like, do what you can, turn the heads towards you. Don't do too much. Yeah, that's I use that play more than once myself, where it's like, hey, we're going up the middle, and when they all turn, I'll take it, but you guys better capitalize on it.
It's that moment.
Right.
It's that moment when you look at the coach, you go, "Who do you want me to shoot?" It's like, I really don't care. I just need you to run straight up the center. You're like, all
Yeah.
right, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, but
Like you're only mad if like you're not mad that you got shot. You're mad if your people didn't capitalize after that.
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like,
So I'm gonna toss my soul here real quick. So like, you better capitalize on this because like I'm doing it for us.
yeah. There's nothing worse than doing one of those runs only to turn around and see everyone else dead. It's like, really?
That was like our then with D4.
Okay. Yeah, that's not fun, right? That's when you got to come into the pit and like, hey, we got to have a conversation. So a new request from Andy's Taco Shop, financing available. Favorite gun that you sold off, or like unicorn gun that, one day I want to get one of these.
Okay, there's a gun out there, and it's gonna sound cheesy. If you're out there and you have a Panda Vanquish, all right,
Okay.
and you want to sell that, let me know. Because every once in a while I see it pop up for sale, and I want it. And I haven't seen it go up for sale in a few years, but it's like purple, pink, and teal, and then it's got a panda, like just behind the eye covers.
I think I've seen this one.
I guarantee you have. Like, it's a good looking gun. Why do I want it? I have no idea, but I would love to own that Panda Vanquish.
Nice. Hey, some of those Vanquishes were really, really good.
Well, I shot my buddies at the park not too long ago, and like, because I hadn't picked one up in forever, and I was like, "Yo, this thing shoots good." Like, and then I told him right then too. I was like, "Man, if I see that Panda one come up for sale again, I'm gonna buy it."
Nice.
Into existence, it's gonna be a cup now.
Yeah. You're gonna
I'll-
walk into
I'll buy it.
the-
I'm telling you right now. Like, I'm gonna buy it, and she's gonna be so mad at me.
It'll be
Like,
worth it.
whatever. Oh, it'll 100% be worth it.
Matt, what about you?
Of like a Panda gun, unfortunately. Um, I really haven't seen any ones out there that like I've seen really cool guns, but I don't know,
What
I mean,
about like former guns? Like, you ever sold one and been like, man, should not have let that one go?
no,
Man,
so I had
have you owned enough guns to say that?
okay, yes. So I still have a silver and teal GO2, but I refuse to sell the gun just because it got me into paintball. I don't ever really even shoot anymore, but I just can't bring myself to sell. I had an LV 1.5, and I sold that gun for my CS3 now. I don't regret selling that gun.
Okay.
LV is a great gun, just too boxy for me,
Yeah.
and it didn't fit my role. So now I just rock a CS3. Of course, I feel like every single time I buy a gun, it's like the next gun that comes out. Like the CS3 Pro came out a couple months later. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, I really wish I would have just waited
Uh-huh.
because I got a barrel trigger, and now I'm like, I put too much money into this gun to sell it. I don't know if I get a decent price at like a CS3 Pro, a cup. There's
Mhm.
probably a high probability I'll trade. No, I haven't. Oh, and I have a Lux as well. It's an American flag one I like.
Nice.
I use it every now and then again, but I just like it for the anodization.
The
Was that like 4 or 5?
he's just throwing out
So-
all of them.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but
Just get yourself a Panda Vanquish, dude. I feel like a new man.
how upset are you going to be when I buy the only one at a cup before you?
So there's only one that I know of. They do have that Dale Earnhardt Vanquish too. That thing's pretty slick.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That was a former pro guy, wasn't it? I can't remember his name now. Really into
I want to say it
aliens.
was somebody from. I want to say it was somebody from Infamous years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, not Drewby. Oh my gosh. Someone's gonna call it out in the comments, I'm sure.
Yeah, so somebody will know whose gun that is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
But
think it was Ryan's. Ryan who had what was that organization he had? Palm Leaf or something? I can't remember now.
I know. No, you're talking about Damien.
Yeah, Damian Ryan. Yeah. I think he rocked it for a while. Yeah, those Vanquishes were cool guns, man. Like there was something about them.
I wish they still made them. I
Yeah.
still think the original Vanquish that came out was way better
Yeah.
than the GTs.
Yeah. That's what I've heard is that the
I
first
shot
one was
both,
the one.
and the original was definitely the one.
It was pretty much a Lux from that time, just redefined a little bit. And I don't understand why GI doesn't produce them. You know, the only thing they have. My gosh.
Did he cut?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And I hope he didn't have to shut everything down. He might. How's it going to go, dude? At this time, we'll just go ahead and take a moment, and we're going to thank Defy here. Top-notch customer service and high-quality product. If you want to go ahead and make the switch, hit up Chad Boucher. He'll get you in there, get you in the game. They will be selling paint in XL 2026. I'm pretty sure this thing's still recording, even though he's not here. That's interesting. Dylan Fout does the magic with all their media. Big shout out to him. Definitely made us look good at the last event. So we greatly appreciate everything Dylan does for Defy Media. But if you need hooked up, let us know, or just reach out to Chad. He will get you taken care of. Just let it
Nice.
fly. Yo,
Yeah,
you were shut
you're a
down.
pro.
We didn't know. Yo, we didn't know what to happen. I was like, yo, infomercial, got you, bro.
Those internet gremlins came and got me, but you had it rolling. I was like, man, he knew what to do. All right.
Well, I didn't know if you could hear me or anything, and I was like, oh man, I don't know how long this is gonna be. And then you're like, your whole screen went black, and I was like, oh, I got this. We'll just take the time to do a commercial.
There we go. Well, we are at like an hour 10. So why don't you shout out all the sponsors again real quick, and we'll call it for tonight, guys. Oh,
All
wait.
right.
One more thing real quick.
All right.
Actually, any rituals before you start a match or start the day of paintball, piece of gear you got to have on you, or something you got to do in the pit, or the day just doesn't go right?
Go ahead, man.
No, that's all you, man. No, I mean, so start off on a serious tone. We usually bring all the guys in. I'm not a big fan of like the whole hyping up, screaming at each other, making sure everyone can hear you kind of thing, right? We're not there for the other teams. We're there for us. So bringing everyone in, talking about what we've worked on, recounting everything that brought us to that point. A good ritual I like to do, right? I started it last year with kind of the struggles we had through the team with our D5 season last year. Just having everyone close their eyes and like a visualization training, basically, tell people basically take a deep breath in, whatever butterflies that people have in their stomach, whether it's like concerns, maybe you have like doubts in yourself, give people a chance to like feel that, understand maybe why they have that, let the breath out, and everything's gone, right? From there, I like to do like a visualization of like whatever you're at, whatever you're 1, 2, you play at home, you're in Snake, just seeing what you're doing, visualizing yourself, like winning the point, talking to other players, basically doing whatever you have to do to be successful on the field. And I think it's a really important thing to do, but I think it helps calm people's nerves before it and just get in that mindset of like, this is exactly what I need to do to be successful. This is what we as a team need to be to do to be successful. And then we just go out there and do that.
Nice. Chris, anything else?
I'm like the by far, like he does all that, and I normally just stand there and partake in the ritual moment that he leads the team through. I'm by far the least serious person when it comes to anything like that. I am not into the whole rah get it going, super hype stuff. I mean, if that's their scene, that's their scene. Everyone's got their thing. Well, we don't like to do hands in because everybody does hands in. So we'll we'll dock up and
Okay.
we'll dock up and get everybody going, and hit our thing and get out there and get after it. I've never been a fan of like the whole We need to get super motivated, and they do that with their music or everything else. Like they know what they need to do. Like they know what they need to hear. They know what they need to visualize. And then once you step on that field, it's go time. So yeah, I'm not a very serious person when it comes to that. So I just let him take care of that part, and we just go from there.
Usually, though, that's like the most serious part of the day. And it's really not even
Okay.
serious. Other than that, it's like as soon as we get to the field, it's blasting music. Usually, probably like the dumbest song that you can find. That's
Absolutely.
that's what we're blasting, right? Just to if you like hear music playing, you're like, who the hell is listening to that at like
It's
6:30 in
probably
the
us.
morning? It's us,
Okay.
right? Just keeping good
Talking like
vibes.
good white girl music.
Dude, I mean, we can hit it. What's that one that Wade's always playing? Why am I drawing a blank on it? Guarantee if I go to my phone, it's like right there.
But
No broke
basically, like,
boys.
yeah, no
Right
broke
there.
boys.
Okay.
We had Ping Pony Club playing at one point. Like as soon as we get to the field, it's just like light vibes, joking with each other all day long.
Like I want you to look
Nice.
at me like you just can't take me seriously. Like who are these guys? Why? Like what is wrong with them? Like, and then once we get over to our little area, and you know, countdown's on, you hear the beeps, and it's time to party. Like let's get down to business.
I think that's the best thing
Nice.
too for helping with nerves. Like if you're serious all day long and it's just like go 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 go, like if and all you're gonna do is hype yourself up over a point, and then the first thing you do is get shot out because like run into the one thing. Like it's just like a mental breakdown. Like
Yeah.
if you can just keep light vibes, and then like 10 seconds before you walk out on the field, you have your game plan, super serious, you're on the start box. And even like the walk to the start box, we're probably BSing. And then as soon as guns on the board, and then go.
Nice. Like it. Like the philosophy for sure. Got to keep it loose. Well, shout out the sponsors and we'll take it out.
All right. Jacksonville Paintball and Airsoft Park for providing us with a top tier facility to train at. We got Grants Creek Nursery for all your landscaping and uh, home dreams. Make sure happy wife, happy life, gentlemen. So right when you get back from NXL World Cup, go ahead, give them a shout. Get your lady some nice flowers put out front or something. We've got Rough and Rowdy custom holsters, and then J&E electronics or construction. He does both. So, and then last but not least, Defy. Let it fly with Defy. Go out there, give Chad a call, talk to Todd, see what they can get you set up with. There is nobody in the game right now that is doing what they are doing. Just tag them. You want to be shared. You want sponsors to do what sponsors are meant to do. Share your stuff and support you, no matter if you're at the regional level, a local season, or the big stage. Like they will share your stuff. They are getting your name out there and doing what no other sponsor is doing. Like you don't have to just, be a winner to get your name out there. Let everybody know who you are, and Defy will do that for you.
Yeah, they do a good job of promoting everyone, right? Pros on down. So, and Chad's a local guy, local South Carolina guy. So, or at least he is now. So, might as well spend your money with someone local, man. So, all right. Well, you guys got to hang out for a little bit while we let it upload. Everyone else, we will see you next time on the Planet Paintball Podcast. Later. All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the Planet Paintball Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whether you're out there grinding in the divisional pits or chasing dreams on the pro stage, remember, it's all about the passion, the hustle, and the love for the sport. Shout out to 1023 Sportswear for sponsoring the show. Don't forget to use code Planet Paintball at checkout for 20% off your order. Gear up, save big. Until next time, keep grinding, keep growing, and we'll see you back here on the Planet Paintball Podcast